Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This is our latest podcast, Tru Heel Heat 103. On this edition of Tru Heel Heat, we will be discussing the latest wrestling news, including the fallout from NXT TakeOver WarGames 2020, Kenny Omega, the belt collector or the belt cleaner on Impact Wrestling, WWE and NXT backstage heat over Charlotte Flair, week 57 of the Wednesday Night Wars, preview and predictions for a jam-packed weekend with Impact Wrestling's Final Resolution, New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of Super Juniors 27 and World Tag League 2020 Finals, and the Super J Cup 2020. So I am back once again with the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Luv.
Hello. Hey, Boo. Miss you.
Oh, my God. I fucking miss you. And we rocking the same colors without even talking.
Virtual hugs. I mean, I seen you last week, but that's not like.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna.
I'm the black and gold.
That. I'm putting that on my post for 103 when it goes on social media. I'm saving that picture.
Okay.
Absolutely. And back with us after a holiday hiatus, he is the resident Tru Heel alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, it was like shit, man.
I
don't know if you ever watch YouTube videos where people are refusing to talk about the situation because they don't want to get their videos tagged. That was basically what my entire week was dealing with. So that was a part of my hiatus. So it was not on purpose, but it was required.
You're a busy man. We understand. I did mention this on the last episode, I think since 101, but shout outs to Chris G for our excellent new opening to the show. Like we got a new intro.
Y'all haven't talked about that? That intro is hot. That intro is fire.
We got a new intro. We're feeling brand new on this new era of Tru Heel Heat since Tru Heel Heat 100. So shout out to Chris G for that. And this edition of Tru Heel Heat is brought to you by our friends at Wrestling Travel. Shout outs to Danny, Justin Clapper, all the good brothers over there. And of course, once again, this is a reminder to you guys, Tru Heel Heat is not only available on YouTube and all your favorite audio podcast platforms, but it is also available on Powered 4 TV, the hottest and best streaming service for all of our UK subscribers. You can check us out on there. A lot of our content is free on Powered 4 TV, so take advantage of it now because it won't be free for long. So take advantage while you can, Powered 4 TV, and watch all the great content for Tru Heel Heat. And we got a huge announcement off the bat. Tru Heel's 4th annual Tru Heel's year-end awards will be coming up in 2 weeks' time, and we are gonna come at you very hot and heavy because this is Tru Heel Heat. It's gonna be a live stream on our YouTube channel on December 26th. That is a Saturday. Usually we have the recorded version of our podcast that drop every single Saturday, but we're gonna go live for our Tru Heel's year-end awards, 4th annual. The voting polls are going to start today on the Tru Heel's Facebook group page. And of course, our great editor, Baby Seth, he's flashing the logo that also Chris G put for us for our Tru Heels year-end awards. Man, Chris G, I gotta commend you. He's a great husband. He's a great father, and he's doing a lot of our back end work and production. So that man is one of our unsung heroes. The whole production team, Baby Seth, Chris G, Romeo, you guys are excellent at what you guys do, and you make people like us, the on camera people, look great. So,
Yep.
so thank you.
You know what? Not for nothing, I missed you fuckers, man. Like, you know, and I can't wait to see the gang again. Yes, man. Shout out to Baby Seth, man, with that epic opening chair shot in the beginning that SP still feels till his day.
Yep.
You know, and that
they got it right on beat too. Like that's when the beat
the
really
banger
drops.
was right on beat too. The chair shot was right on beat too. And you know they catch both me and Chrissy's wild asses in one of our rants, because I'm probably unfamiliar with which rant that was. Because
Right. I don't know which one it was either. I'm sorry.
I thought they was gonna. The only thing I thought I was gonna see after that was the Tru Heel Heat 35 when Krssi, or was it 35? Yeah, when Krssi kicked down the fucking chair and shit. That was her first Tru Heel rant when she went off on that shit. When she kicked down the chair at Legends, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. At the Double or Nothing viewing party. Yes, good times.
She was pissed.
The legends, okay?
Good times there. So we got to start off by telling you guys, give this video a thumbs up, share this video with all your wrestling fans and friends, and of course the iCard down at the bottom, you could just tap on that, push the subscribe button, and of course push the bell to press all for all notifications so you can get all this great content for Tru Heel Heat, including the Tru Heels year-end awards on December 26th, and go on the Tru Heels Facebook group page to start voting, because voting polls are open today. When you see this podcast, go out there and check it out. But we got to start off Tru Heel Heat, as we always do, with the Tru Heel roll call, as I like to call it. We start off first with our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels group page, aka the Negro Bucks, the Nick Jacksons of the world. So coming in at number 3 is Lorenzo Dozer of Team Awesome. Coming in at number 2 is Argini Bismonine as of Rambling Mania. And coming in at number 1 is Charles Kirkhoff. So shouts out to all of you guys who are contributing to the Tru Heels group page. A couple of Tru Heels we got to shout out. Cassidy Haynes, Uptown Avondale, who is one of our elite good eggs on Wrestling Daily. He just subscribed to our YouTube channel, as did Matty the Hot Scott. He said, I broke the news of Sting debuting to him because he's out across seas in the UK, and I was up at, I think, like 2 a.m. for him, and he saw my It's Sting tweet, and he was like, oh my god, is it really true? And I was like, yes, it's true. Jobber JJ, as well as another one that came over from Wrestle Talk, and Carol Wands, one of my favorite elite good aides from Wrestling Daily. We got a couple of new subscribers. We had one of our biggest surges in subscribers this week, as we hit 900 subscribers on the Tru Heels group, on the YouTube channel. Shouts out to all of you guys supporting. Like I said before, share it with a wrestling fan or friend, because we got about 2 to 3 weeks left of 2020, and we're trying to hit that 1K mark before 2021 comes. So help us push that.
It's gonna happen.
We are about like 95 or so away, so we can make it happen, and it's all because of you guys. So shout outs to all of you who are helping us out. Our Tru Heels subscriber spotlight, we got the king of the comment section, Kayfabe Tactics, commenting on True Rewind 32. He said, did Piper just say there will be no government shutdown? Question mark. LOL. Crazy coincidence. Yes, talking about when Roddy Piper became the president of the WWF on True Rewind 32. Kwame Shafir commented on Tru Heel Heat 102, and he said, with all due respect towards Roman's surprise return at SummerSlam, but the legendary superstar icon Sting's surprise return to TNT after 20 years is definitely the biggest and most memorable wrestling surprise return of 2020, because for Sting, this is a homecoming for him to return to a network in which he had some of his biggest matches and moments on TNT when he was in in his prime back in the day and was very special within itself. Great comment right there by Kwame. And then finally, we got the good brother, the true face of the Tru Heels group page, Steve Salvage, commenting on the War Games. Commenting on the War Games roundtable, he says, "Ladies, War Games might have had to call an audible because of Candice breaking her arm. I'm okay with it. Ciampa versus Thatcher was awesome, old school and hard hitting. The ear thing added to it because the ear looked like it was split, and the stare down at the end was great." He says Grimes needs to get pushed. He is a great annoying heel that can back it up. Leon did a great job. Having Priest apologize after tossing Leon was a great character moment. And then he said the men's War Games was awesome. So thank you, Steve, for that comment. And that segues to what we missed, and what we missed was
comment or review.
Right.
I know. He did his own review in the comments section. So I had to spotlight that one. So because that took some time for him. So we got to show him praise for taking his time on that.
Damn.
So
how awesome did that feel when I know I'm like way off course right now, but damn, that shit felt good seeing that snow come. Like I was just like Tony Schiavone, it sting.
I was too.
That shit felt good.
I had to do it in silence to not wake up the twins, but I was like, "It's Sting!" I was like, "Oh my!" I knew it was him by the crow. I said it last week with you guys, but it's okay, JJ. You could praise because you didn't have a chance to talk about it.
Right.
Oh man, that shit felt so good. I was like, "Oh my god, that felt amazing." Seeing that snow, it's like he is so good at at just making something different out of who he is, man. Mm-hmm. Like the winter is coming. Looking like one of the looking like he's a member of Winterfell and shit. Like, oh god, that shit is so epic, man. Like he is awesome.
It was beautiful indeed. I would put it up there as one of the top surprise returns of 2020 for sure. But going off of Steve Salvage's comment, we got to talk about NXT TakeOver War Games 2020.
Come on, Krssi, give that shit to me one time.
Yeah, go ahead, Krssi.
What?
Give us a War Games. Yeah, give us a Ovrigo War Games.
War Games.
Come on, Krssi. War Games!
Okay, hold on, wait.
Come on, Krssi. Say it with the claw. Bring it from War Games!
Bring it from the diaphragm. From the diaphragm up.
Say it like you mad at Mr. Lynch.
I hate you so much.
Say it like London won't get out of your face.
Leave my cup alone, thank you.
See, you got it. Take that passion. That passion.
From there.
That passion. There.
Okay. War Games.
I love it. I'll take it.
Better. A little bit more of a scream, but we're working on it.
I'm gonna practice and get it together, okay?
I love it.
We won't get to practice this until next year.
I'll have it better. Don't worry.
We got
by the end of the show, I'll get it together.
You got a whole year to practice. Undisputed Era defeated Team McAfee in the main event. Yes, I was 5 for 5, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say that off the back.
Then we all have the same thing.
Bravo.
I think you had one. You had Leon Ruff, didn't you? Yeah.
I have Ruff. You're right. Yes.
Did that?
Yeah, I was gonna go with you, and then I changed my pick to Johnny Gargano.
He changed it to Gargano. So I was 4 for 5. Okay.
Yes. You were near perfection, but I was Mr. Perfect with like spitting the gum and then hitting it at the same time. I was excellent.
And now you was perfect, and she was just pretty good.
80%. That's more than pretty good. That's great.
Passing grade.
Undisputed Era defeated Team McAfee in a great men's War Games. Very hard hitting stuff. Team Candice beat Team Shotzi in a fun women's War Games match with Raquel Gonzalez getting the pin on Io Shirai. Johnny Gargano, as we said before, becomes the first ever three-time North American champion, stealing Nessa's gimmick by defeating Damian Priest and Leon Ruff in a triple threat, thanks to the Ghostface Killer, who was revealed as Austin Theory. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Tommaso Ciampa defeats Timothy Thatcher in a very physically intense bout, and Dexter Lumis beats Cameron Grimes in a strap match. I will start with you, Miss Krssi Luv. What was the better War Games to you, the men's or the women's?
The men, duh. and I'm sad to say that because I had very high expectations for the women because they had such a stacked group of ladies in that match. And unfortunately, it was very slow at the beginning, but then eventually like picked up. But I just wasn't like, oh my god, this is War Games. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, it was good. Was it better? No, not as good as the men. I'm sorry. I must say this now. I wasn't a fan of Pat McAfee. I am a fan of Pat McAfee.
Yes.
I said it last week. I was like, "Wow, his promo."
You bought in.
I brought it. Yeah,
he's a fucking jerk, and you gotta love it.
And when he brought the tables out with the names, I said, "It's genius. It's genius." You see me in the chat. I was like, "Pat McAfee." Wow. I was just like blown away by him, and then like he was even like his wrestling was better than the one-on-one he had with
Adam Cole.
Thank you, sir. With Cole, it was better than that, I believe. I don't know about what you guys think, but I think he was much better. And this was his second one.
Yep.
I think he did so good. The match was great. I need the Undisputed Era's T-shirt. They don't have it on the shop as yet, but I need that. It was so fire. I need that T-shirt. Like it was, that red with that black in the camo. Like
that's some shit that you get from like a street vendor.
Yes.
And that's some shit you get from a street vendor that you don't expect a lot of people to see.
Yep.
How about you, JJ? Men's or the women's War Games?
I mean, I thought she was going to ask the question of how much better was the men's compared to the women's, because I don't think it's really a question. The men's was definitely better. The women they just had too many areas of just do nothing and not too much do nothing, and there was a lot of inconsistent chemistry. Because when they were actually interacting in the ring, they had good spots. I love seeing Rhea and Raquel no matter what. Like, I love seeing those two women just go at it. That shit was amazing. Props to Aew Sarai with the craziest spot of the entire night.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Aew was the crazy. Aew is fucking crazy. She's fucking crazy. Like to jump off of the top of the cage, not only you're blind. She was blind. Like she had no idea how, what, or where she was gonna land. That is called trust in your people. that was some sick shit. But as you guys said, the men's was just on a different level. Like props to Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh my god.
They were in that bitch for like a fucking hour.
Yeah.
They were in that shit like that shit. They started it and they were always involved. They were always involved all the way through until him going through the goddamn table in the middle of the fucking the rings. Like it was like he was always involved. Like it was just so crazy. No, I think that was Danny Burch that went through that middle table. My bad. But
it's okay, friend. We understand what you're saying.
He was so involved in all parts of the match. Like he saved McAfee like 1,000 times, which is what's so beautiful about McAfee is that
everyone saved him. Yes,
he's in a position where he's such an asshole, but then he is always in a position where he's like top dog, and then he has the craziest spots. Like that moonsault was fucking flawless.
It was
flawless, that moonsault. That shit was so beautiful. And then Adam Cole rips his shirt off and is ready to start wailing on him. Who saves him? Pete, motherfucking Dunne.
Yeah.
that bitter end on the folded chair was one of the best spots of that whole match.
Bro, I thought ribs was broken. I was like, did this spot go the way it should have? I was like, this is some old fucking what we go to like MLW or some Battle Club Pro spot. I was like, what the fuck is that? How was this involved? Like that shit was perfectly done. Like you just see like the men had so much more chemistry and they just had something going for the entire match. It was high octane, high action. Like the men just killed it. Like they killed it.
Didn't Bobby Fish get injured or something like that too?
Yeah, I think he got like a torn bicep in the match.
Bicep.
I gotta agree with you guys. Like, I thought Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly were really the glue of this match. They started off the match just hot. It was great wrestling from the beginning, and they just have great chemistry together. But I also agree with Miss Krssi Luv. The MVP of the match and the MVP of TakeOver for me was Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee performed like a top star, like a top heel, and his finisher is the punt. It's just genius.
Right.
He's genius.
Yo.
Just the way he
I
sets
wasn't
up.
on board before. I wasn't. Yeah, right.
Yo, how strong, yo, so that, yo, how cool, yo, how much restraint does it take for somebody like Kyle O'Reilly to be yelling on camera that much without cussing? Because
Yes.
all he was doing was talking mad trash, but not one curse word came out.
Yep.
Everything was frickin' or butt or shoot. It was like, damn it, country boy, cuss.
Hey, he's from Canada, actually. He's a Canadian, fellow Canadian.
Okay.
But
Can we just say that Kyle O'Reilly is he is just like a diamond in the rough, man. Like, he is a future champion. He is a future, like, he can be one of those top guys. I definitely can see him being one of the top guys in NXT. I hope he doesn't go to main roster yet, because they're gonna just destroy him. Let him be rough. Let him be molded in NXT, because I think he has so much. Like, he's great now, but imagine like when he gets more evolved in what he can do, because he was fantastic that night.
he's a main eventer for sure, a future world champion in my opinion, and I think the Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly feud down the line would be gold in the main roster or in NXT. It would be fantastic.
Right.
Was there anybody that you would say was like the MVP or stood out the most in the women's war games? I gotta agree. Io Shirai had the spot of the night. She really, I think once she got into the match and it became war games, it became a very fun matchup. But I think we talked about it last week that the baby faces having the advantage was a noose around the neck of this match. Like, that's not how War Games is. We shouldn't be trying to cheer for the sympathetic Dakota Kai. We shouldn't, like, even if you were gonna go that route. I think someone said it on Twitter during the whole telecast that Raquel Gonzalez should have been the first one out. She should have been the first one out, because then it always took two women to kind of put her down throughout the whole match. That would have made sense from the very beginning, and she could have beat down two people on her own, and then it was really the heels had the advantage. But they booked this one very badly, and then even Io being kept out of the ring to kind of get over the baby faces having the advantage, it made her look stupid. And I love Io Shirai.
She's a champion. Yep.
I love her, but it made her look stupid for not being able to get in the ring.
Yep. I definitely agree. I'm like, why won't they let her in? And then they're stopping her. It just didn't make sense. Like, the story that they were trying to tell us, I wasn't following. I was like, maybe it was just me. Maybe I'm watching something that's wrong. But everyone else all said the same thing. It just didn't make sense. They could have done this way better than what it was already.
It's one of those deals that you're trying to overthink something that they didn't even think about. So it's like you're trying to piece together all of the things that should have gone right in this match, because they had the perfect women for this match.
They did.
Like, they had the perfect they had the perfect nucleus for the match to make this a thing that would have been absolutely amazing. Like, for fuck's sakes, like, why couldn't Rhea and Raquel just start the goddamn match? Like, it's just so many other outcomes that, like, having Dakota Kai, and then Dakota Kai, as you said, to having her in a 2-1 disadvantage to start off the event, it's like, huh?
Right.
It's just like, at that point, it's kind of like I just stopped really thinking about how this match could be better and just hope for it to get better.
Yeah.
Because if you overanalyze it, you're not even paying attention to the match, and then the match is over.
Yep.
I will say Dakota Kai did well. She was kind of the glue of the match. She bumped around for everybody and took the sickest bump with that eclipse on the folded chairs. It was ridiculous. And that probably wasn't the sickest bump, because Candice LeRae got injured in this match, breaking her arm on Shotzi's senton off the ladder. But even our good friend Tru Heel Josh mentioned that this whole feud was about Shotzi and Candice, and we barely got any interaction
with them. Yeah.
this is why it's clear. I think I agree with JJ here. It's clear the men's was better than the women's. There was a lot of good in the women's matchup, but there was a lot of things that took away from it and held it back from being as great as the men's WarGames was. The triple threat, it was a very fun match. And
that match was fun.
I think that's when the show started for me, to be honest.
Yeah, it kind of brought the show back. But what was your guys' thoughts on the strap match? Because I know me and Krssi, we said that we weren't into the whole feud. I felt like that was the weakest match of the night. But I will say that it was better than I thought it would be. And that means that I thought it would be a 1-star trash match. And it was at least entertaining towards the end. I will give it that. How about you guys?
You can go, JJ.
I was trying to hold my breath for that one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the match was whack. First of all, the match was whack. So I'm not even going to try to give it more props than it should have. The match, all right, so the best part about that whole match was the leg sweep of the strap, which was actually pretty cool. Like, when he pulled the strap up under his legs and he kind of, like, popped into the chair. Like, that shit was cool. But Dexter Lumis, this baby face, Dexter Lumis is killing me. Thank you. Him having spots in the match.
He's been a baby face since he feuded with Undisputed Era.
What fucked me up in this whole match is that he had a moment where it was like a 3-minute part where he actually participated in the match, like he received the hot tag.
Yeah.
And it was like, what in babyface fuckery is this when you come out with weird psychotic stalking music? Like, how? Dude. You're a stalker, but then you're moving in the ring like you're fucking Rey Mysterio. Like how? What are we watching, dude? They don't connect. The hot tag, babyface, fast pace of him doesn't work for me at all. And he just needs to become a heel some way at some point ASAP.
Yeah, it's just not working as a character. Ciampa and Thatcher, I thought that was kind of a hard-hitting matchup. It was different from everything else, so it stood out. So I enjoyed that. So yes, that's WarGames for you guys. I think the guys
give it another cracker, Krssi.
Will you have any good things to say about your boy Lumis?
The fact this match it was better than our expectations, like we said. It was better than what we said. Kind of slow. I think this was their better matches of them all competing out of the times they have met each other. Yeah. Other than that, it was a little slow. They had little bumps, but I'm not like I wasn't here for it from before. Like their feud, I thought it could have been over by now. And that's all I got, friend. On WarGames.
I'm glad the Bondage storyline is over for now. But that is not the only big event that happened this week. Before the Wednesday Night Wars, we had Tuesday night with the most anticipated Impact Wrestling episode of the year, as the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Impact Wrestling EVP Don Callis appeared to cut a promo explaining what happened on Dynamite last week when Omega became the new champions. The screw job, the golden screw job, as Callis coined it, with Omega announcing that he wants to become a belt collector and teasing going after the Impact World title. We also had a segment with Rich Swann kind of being held up in the building because he couldn't go to the parking lot because the champ had the parking lot reserved. And we also had AEW President Don Callis and AEW President Tony Khan, and Tony Schiavone also appear for an hilarious paid ad where they had one of the best deadpan responses of the year with Tony Khan asking Tony Schiavone, "You spent a cup of coffee in Impact Wrestling?" And he said, "Yeah, one time, and I quit for 18 years. Great response by Tony Schiavone. But Top Guy JJ, what was your thoughts on Omega and Callis's explanation and their promo on Impact Wrestling?
I mean, first of all, so I would retort that with a question to anybody that has seen that promotion to what were y'all expecting?
Yeah.
People were expecting what people were expecting, come out there and have a match with the Impact World Champion on his very first appearance on Impact Wrestling. Like, That's why there's things called slow burning and storytelling. You know, that might be something now that AEW and Impact might have a relationship, not a one-off. This is not a one-off. He will be back. Callis will be back. They'll be sharing platforms, which is an amazing thing for pro wrestling. So anybody that is bitching, shut the fuck up and keep watching. It's like, guys, we have been looking for non-predictable collaborations, and this for fuck sure is one of them. Like, I'm all for the shits to see a Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega match. Like, I'd fucking love to see it. That shit is gonna be a fucking barn burner. But as far as they're trying, I think they're over explaining what they're
doing. Yeah.
job. I think it's over explaining it. Like, they're trying to give too much dialogue. Fuck it, they did what the fuck they had to do. Kenny Omega is the new AEW World Champ. He used the microphone and beat the fuck out of Jon Moxley to take the championship. It wasn't a microphone that did it. It was the 97,000 V triggers that fucking did that. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, Kenny Omega beat the dog snot out of Jon Moxley to win that fucking title. He didn't just hit her with a microphone and hit her with a one-winged angel.
Yeah.
Can you count how many V triggers he hit him with? Shit, I'm still watching the V triggers as we're speaking. Jon Moxley lost the title the best way possible because he looked like the strongest loser in wrestling history. And the explanation is like, it's good, but I just thought it was a little too much. Just fucking, they did what they had to do. Now he's the champ. He's the fucking man, and he's the best in the world.
Because didn't they go for like 2 nights in a row? They did it on Tuesday, and then they did it on Wednesday. Like you explained it, like you did the same thing.
Yeah, we get to what happened on Dynamite. It's okay. We get to what happened on Dynamite where it kind of felt like a retread. I will agree with that, but I thought the Callis promo on Impact was fantastic. That is what you call putting a story all together because it tied together 5 years of Kenny Omega from New Japan to now the Jericho Omega match kind of created AEW, how Omega has been winning titles, how he's been watching Omega, and it take real life and had it here, and people should have realized that Omega kind of gave you a sign that this promo, this segment is going to be good or bad to some people in a vacuum, but you're going to look back on this promo when the story has all transpired and is going to be a lot bigger than it was, because something that was small before has become bigger, because before Full Gear, I don't know if you guys remember, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross did sit down interviews with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Kenny Omega's was in a house where he said, "This is not my house, but you know, this is a dog, this is a cat, blah blah blah." On the stand, there was the picture that he brought in this promo with Don Callis and the Golden Sheik, his uncle, when Don Callis was young. That was a sign right before our eyes that Don Callis was going to have something to do with Kenny Omega and this new cleaner character. Something very small, they made it bigger by bringing it back here and telling you, go back and watch that promo, because that promo was setting seeds for what was to come. So people
but Don also said, I'm sorry to cut you off, Don also said that, who do you think, he spoke to once he had his match with Adam Page?
Yep.
He said it. Like, I was like,
who he called?
Oh, like, he was like, who do you think he was talking to? Like, who do you think he was with? Like I was the one that was like, I started this. I set this all up. Like, what do you mean?
The invisible hand.
Krssi, I want to ask Krssi a question, right?
Yeah.
And I think I hope Krssi can answer this for a lot of idiots out there, because there's a lot of idiots out there. So, have we not seen how extra Kenny Omega's entrances has been, how his introductions has been, how his story overall has been? How were people not expecting all of this extraness leading into his title run, and how extra he's going to rub shit in our face? This is literally wrestling storytelling in your face, and you don't even get it. So, Krssi, the shit that people are asking for, and it is getting handed to them. How do they not see it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate. Like, as soon as I saw the girls and the dancers and the whole like broom sweeping, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then it kept happening. I was like, oh, now he leaves Hangman, he leaves Adam, And this is now he gets this whole big on production. Now he's a single. He's not even like a tag team partner anymore. He doesn't have one. Now he gets this whole entrance production. He wasn't doing this before. Now it showed you the transition. It started months ago.
And we said this.
We said it, but we didn't really like feed into like what people are now saying or whatever. But we've been talking about it already. We've been saying that something is happening and it's going to. We've set the seed in before with everyone else,
We've been saying it for months that people were kind of overrating that whole conversation of, right. Omega's not the New Japan Omega. What's wrong with Omega? Oh, he seems like a regular guy. No, he doesn't. He seems like he is in the right spot for right now. He was going to be in the spot that he needed to be in. And after a week of him being the world champion, he feels like the biggest star in wrestling, honestly, to me.
And where's he from?
Well, he's from he's from Canada, but he took the scenic route through North Carolina. And he explained that it's a play off of Michael Jordan and being from North Carolina. So
it's so extra, it's so great.
But people were upset when he was with Adam Page, and now that he's not, and he's being almost the cleaner. It's like, okay, well, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? You're not gonna get New Japan. You're not gonna get that one. Sorry, you might get something close.
He's gonna be something different.
Right, like you're not gonna get the same. You're not gonna get it. It's a different cleaner. It's a different transition. Like it's just like Jericho. You don't get the same Jericho. It's transition. It gotta evolve. It gotta be something different. This is AEW. He's not gonna be the same person that he was over there.
For fuck's sakes, he looks like a goddamn champion.
He does. I'm loving it.
He looks like a goddamn champion. Like he is literally believable from the minute you see it.
All he needs is he needs to be like, come to America and have people. He has to have like the rose petals. It'll be fucking golden. Let it be even over the top. Then
golden. I like that. Do you guys get the because I heard this analogy as well on Twitter, as well as from, I think it was Alex McCarthy and Steph Chase on Wrestling Daily. Do you get the Paul Heyman CM Punk vibes from Don Callis and Kenny Omega, where Don can talk for Omega, but Omega doesn't really need him to talk for him, where Omega is good as a promo, but the association of them makes Omega more of a heel?
Yes.
Before pissing on the narrative, I absolutely agree with it, because Don Callis's words and his intent makes Kenny's match and stick even better. Because Kenny is such a good guy. He's such a naturally good person. So now it's like you got this devil behind his shoulder plugging basically what he should have been saying, and now it's coming out of the best in the world's mouth. So it's very similar, because obviously he's now calling himself the best wrestler in the world. So there's definitely a lot of correlation to that. So that sometimes a good story that works out, it works out, because that Paul Heyman and CM Punk shit was fucking money.
Yeah,
this shit is fucking money.
And I also did a little bit of fantasy booking this week on Wrestling Daily, and I said, wouldn't it be magical if Kenny Omega not only wins the Impact World title from Impact Wrestling, but, Moose has brought back the TNA World Championship, and it seems like Swan and Moose are kind of building to their own title unification. But the winner of that versus Kenny Omega gets 2 more straps. He's already got the AAA World title. He's already got the AEW World title. And a certain golden lover of his is in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom for 2 other titles, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. So wouldn't it be magical that we have Ibushi versus Omega for all the gold?
Dude, first of all,
wow.
If that match happens, tell me when and where. Take all my fucking money. Take all of my fucking money, because I need to be there to see the winner of somebody carrying like 7 titles.
Right, like this is boxing or something. Like you're gonna take all the boxing, all the belts from this person.
I just love his character is basically Thanos. He wants all the Infinity Stones. He wants all the Infinity Stones, and he wants to snap and destroy the wrestling world.
Yeah.
And this is just one story. in the
One star,
AEW.
right?
Like they are on a different level. Like they're clicking. This is when it clicks. They are just on a different stratosphere right now.
Absolutely. Also on Impact Wrestling this week, Chris Bay and Moose defeated Rich Swann and Willie Mack in the main event. I will give it to Impact Wrestling. I like the decision because they had a lot of new eyes on the promotion, and the decision to put 4 African American stars in the main event, I thought that was a great decision, and it was something that you don't see every day. You see, stuff like New Day versus Hurt Business on the middle of the show on a Raw, but you don't see it in the main event like these guys are doing it. So I have to hand it to them. Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary defeated Deonna Purrazzo and Kimber Lee to move on in the Knockouts Tag Team Title Tournament. Eddie Edwards returns to get revenge on Sami Callihan, and we got the final hype for Final Resolution, and we'll do a preview and predictions of that card later in the show. But Impact Wrestling drew one of its highest ratings with 221,000 viewers on Access TV. They had a .08 in the 18 to 49 key demo on Access TV, and that's up from last week's 166K that they did. They also had another 218K on YouTube because they put the episode out on their YouTube channel, and they had 50,000 live viewers on Twitch, which they stream live on Twitch every single Tuesdays. And not only that, this was the big note from the ratings. They outdrew NXT in males 18 to 34 from last week's NXT. Impact Wrestling outdrew them in one of the demos. So
what?
Yes, they did. We've talked about it before. NXT doesn't draw young viewers.
We about to have an explosive NXT in 2 weeks, son. We about to get Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker. They gonna fucking do a hologram of King Kong Bundy on that shit.
I hit my head. Oh yes.
They're about to pull out all the stops, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was all from Impact Wrestling. Like I said, we'll get to Final Resolution shortly.
NXT can get no love, friends.
We also what we missed: New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of Super Juniors 27 and World Tag League 2020. We had FinJuice defeat Yano and Ishii, and LIJ over Hanare and Tanahashi on World Tag League Night 8. We had Hiromu defeat Taguchi, El Despy defeat Eagles, and Ishimori defeat Wado on Best of Super Juniors Night 8. We had Gorillas of Destiny defeat Hanare and Tanahashi with Tama Tonga submitting the ace in the Scorpion Deathlock in about 3 minutes. So that downward spiral for Tanahashi continues right there. Hiromu Takahashi defeated Master Wado. The Empire defeated LIJ with Cobb pinning the never openweight champion Shingo Takagi. Ishimori defeated Sho in a great match, and El Despy beat Bushi to set up Despy versus Hiromu in the Best of the Super Junior finals. And then finally in the main event, FinJuice defeated Goto and Hashi to set up FinJuice versus GOD in the World Tag League finals, and that was all on night 9 of the Best of Super Juniors and World Tag League, which we'll preview later on in this show. SmackDown, we had Roman cut a fantastic opening promo, which is interrupted by Kevin Owens, who challenges him for TLC that Jey Uso accepts from Roman, which Roman did not like. Owens and Otis defeat Roman and Jey Uso by disqualification. That was Roman's first TV loss in over a year since the Royal Rumble, after the Bloodline attacks KO with steel chairs, and then Roman attacks Jey Uso with the chair as well for accepting the challenge.
Jay out of fucking line, yo. You out of pocket, yo. Don't ever talk for the tribal chief, bitch. Fuck is wrong with you? Speaking for the king. What's wrong with you? You deserve that ass whooping. I ain't feel sorry for him at all. At all. I was like, he should have got more.
He should have gotten more.
Accepting fights for me. Fuck you think you are.
And then Paul Heyman is great. Like, he's like this. Paul Heyman is golden. He's up. This is the part that he was made for. This one right here.
But that ass whooping to Otis was fucking epic.
Oh yeah, that was brutal as well. But I love that Paul Heyman's been like the best promo for years, and now he's just over for his facial expressions.
He's over for Roman's actions.
Absolutely.
Roman's a fucking psycho, and I love it.
Steve Cutler and Wesley Brake of the Forgotten Sons return as backup for King Corbin to help him beat
That's
Murphy.
who that was. I was wondering.
Yeah,
I got you. I got you.
And that bum bitch Riker
We'll
is on
get to
fucking
that.
main
We'll get
event.
to that.
That piece of shit.
We'll get to that. And attack the Mysterios. Sasha Banks and Carmella set up for TLC, their matchup. And then Mysterio, Bryan, and Big E defeat Dolph, Nakamura, and Zayn in the Pat Patterson tribute match, with Big E debuting a new Wale theme song, which was, I think, a nice little touch to kind of put Big E on track for his singles run. Raw, we had Styles, Miz, and Morrison beat McIntyre and Sheamus after Sheamus accidentally bro kicks the champ. Then the two friends brawl backstage, ending with them putting Pat Buck through a table and getting a pint together, which I thought was a nice touch because
I love their rivalry, man. I love this.
The friendship
two Irish fucking Brits just not fucking liking bullshit. They take it out on each other and go have a drink afterwards. I fucking love it.
That was like real brother shit.
It is though, isn't it though?
So
you
refreshing.
Your brother, you have a fight, and then your friends like right afterwards. You know.
Absolutely.
That's just like us.
Yeah,
that's just like us. We talk shit to each other and then have a fucking drink together.
Pretty much.
I love it. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Orton challenged Funhouse Bray, or as our good friend Richie Mood calls him, Bray Wyatt Rogers, to the main event where the Fiend magically appears to attack Randy Orton, which I thought was beautifully shot. Great stuff. Kofi defeated Shelton Benjamin, and then Cedric defeated Kofi in back-to-back matches. And then finally, MLW Fusion had low-key defeat Richard Holiday to move on in the Opera Cup 2020, and the debut of Violence is Forever, a part of Team Filthy. That brings us to our top news story, which has to do with the backstage heat between WWE Creative and NXT Creative regarding Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley's reaction for losing at WrestleMania. Fightful Select reports that the NXT Creative team apparently had to deal with Raw's creative team whenever Charlotte Flair was going to appear on NXT during the build-up to WrestleMania and after. All writing or creative plans on Charlotte first had to go through the Raw team, but they would often shut down any ideas from NXT. Additionally, the report notes that Rhea Ripley was originally scheduled to defeat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. However, creative plans then changed to have Charlotte win the title. Also, there was reportedly a creative push within NXT that would have Bianca Belair added to the mix of their feud, which you remember Bianca Belair was a part of their build-up prior to TakeOver Portland, and this could have resulted in Charlotte losing the belt by not having to take a pinfall loss. The report noted that an NXT wrestler who was asked about the situation had a pessimistic response to WWE and NXT's handling of the situation. Said wrestler indicated that the creative team for NXT should have known better what they were getting into when booking Charlotte. In this report, it was also noted that Charlotte was chosen to win the Royal Rumble over the originally planned winner, which was Shayna Baszler, which I've said for months should have happened, because she had promised. Yes.
Let this dialogue finish, because we gonna have some shit to say.
Because she had been promised, Charlotte, promised things and had the rug pulled from under her. So they gave her the win at the Royal Rumble to kind of make good on that. This comes off the heels of Rhea Ripley on the Lillian Garcia's Chasing the Glory podcast, where she said that she had lost her confidence following the loss to Charlotte at WrestleMania. Ripley said, and I quote, "I'm not too sure. It did feel like the win was taken out. I felt like I went through a stage where I was losing confidence in myself because I wasn't portrayed the same way. Even now, I'm still slowly building myself back up from it. My confidence was tainted a little, which sucks because I try to keep it up and do my best all the time. I don't know if it was something in my head that wasn't getting the picture. I just got a little bit lost after that." Triple H originally said, if you remember, I think it was before TakeOver in your house or after, that everything would make sense with the booking for Rhea Ripley. Now on the TakeOver WarGames conference call, Triple H admitted that the pandemic put a hold on the plans that they had for Rhea Ripley.
God, Joe.
So I will start. I will start with you, Top Guy JJ. What are your thoughts on the report of the issues concerning Charlotte on NXT?
So I hope that Romeo hears this part of the podcast because this is going to be some important shit that I'm. Charlotte Flair is a motherfucking cancer to the WWE.
Whoa.
And the reason being, and it's not because it's not Charlotte Flair's fault. It is anybody that handles Charlotte Flair. Because it's like the amount of pressure that is put on any woman that she has to encounter is now going to be dealing with this shit going forward. Because she is a 10-time women's champion. She is labeled as the most gifted, best athlete in the entire world, women's wise, athletically, like ever. This now is going to immediately instill you're going to lose to this woman when you feud with her. She is not going to be booked like the average woman going forward for the rest of her career. She is going to always perceive to be booked above you going forward. How does that make you feel if you are somebody busting your ass? You're training for all of these years, trying to make a name for yourself, but once you are pinned up against Flair, you're going down. And you got to go through A, B, C, D, E, F, G to ensure you might get a win on her, let alone to get over her in this feud. She is a 10-time women's champion in what, a 6-7 year span?
I think she's like a 12th time now.
12th time. I apologize for the missing 2. My God. So it's like how many more women is going to have to suffer this fate before she just falls in line and gets booked like the rest of the women regularly. Like, it's just never going to happen. And it's like, I'm going to make she needs Tessa Blanchard in the worst way possible because she needs somebody to feud with for like 6 months to a year that just won't be fucking phased by this bullshit. Because this is going to keep happening to people. This probably happened to Charlotte. I mean, this probably happened to Sasha. This probably possibly happened to Becky, but not Becky, to Bayley. But they're so proud of who they are with this company, they will never say it out loud. Rhea Ripley she was on the upcome for how many months before she took that loss to Charlotte? That loss to WrestleMania made no fucking sense whatsoever to Charlotte. As SP, as you called it, her entire NXT title reign made no fucking sense whatsoever. I tried to back the shit, but then I had to eat crow and understand that shit made no sense whatsoever for any of the women involved. I even tried to hype it up and say, you know what, this helped build Io Shirai. No, the fuck it didn't. It didn't for nobody. All it did was drag the rest of the division down. That's why she's been off TV for so long, because nowhere she fits right now. She fits nowhere. Anywhere she comes back to NXT, she has to be at the top of the card. She comes back to Raw SmackDown, she has to be at the top of the card. That is the problem with Charlotte Flair right now, which is why I'm saying she needs to somehow get booked to fall in line, because she is a fucking cancer to booking right now.
I kind of get where you're coming from, because her character is the champion. That's her character. So she can't have a champion. Yeah, she can't have a feud outside of that, it seems.
And that's the problem. Now, how do you elevate anybody else? So now if Charlotte ends up coming back to SmackDown, Bianca Belair's whole fucking dream is done. Because now she's going straight to Sasha Banks.
No, go to Raw. Please send her to Raw. Go to Asuka. Don't send her to SmackDown. I don't want to talk about her.
If she goes to Raw, that completely now ruins Shayna Baszler's chance of ever becoming champ, because, once Becky Lynch returns, and congratulations to Becky and Seth, because they had their baby a few days ago. So obviously she's going to be training like tomorrow to come back.
True.
So it's just, I'm sorry.
It didn't make no sense. We've been saying that for the longest, though. We said it, we unfortunately, we said it back when the Royal Rumble happened. We said that. We said it. We said from the get-go, we did not understand. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't ashamed of Baszler. You know that.
Yeah.
I know I can speak the truth where the truth needs to be told. And the truth was, Shayna should have won. Shayna was supposed to win the Royal Rumble. It made sense. It didn't make sense for Charlotte to win. The booking was retarded. It didn't make sense. Even when you put her on NXT, it did not make. Why are you putting her on NXT? It didn't draw ratings. It didn't do anything really to bring her. It didn't do anything but tarnish what Rhea Ripley was, what they were doing for Rhea Ripley. And I feel bad because something like that messed up her confidence.
Yeah.
And then it shouldn't have done that because you're fighting one of the greats. So why would it tarnish your confidence? But the booking and the people backstage is probably what messed that up. And why is it that we have Raw people, whoever was talking for Charlotte on NXT? That don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry. I don't understand it.
So
that's hard for me.
I gotta ask you, who do you feel is more at fault for this situation? Is it the Raw creative for being too stubborn in their booking of Charlotte, or is it NXT creative for not knowing what they were getting themselves into, as the reported wrestler had to say about this?
I blame both parties, to be honest. I think both sides had a fault in it. I think NXT kept saying yes, okay, no problem, we'll do what you say. Like y'all kept falling, y'all just kept saying, getting like y'all being the yes people instead of no, that's not what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I just want to say this because this is something that I've said before. I think on Wrestling Daily, but I don't know if I've said it here. Mm-hmm. But okay, my whole gimmick for a while on this show was about fans kind of giving The Undertaker the pass for, always coming back and shit. Now I've kind of gotten the sense that people give fucking Triple H a pass for his shitty booking.
Dude!
For his shitty booking. Because
he has to be blamed like Vince, yep.
He put Rhea Ripley in a situation where she was never going to win. She was never going to get the most out of that. They thought they had something, but Triple H, I'm sorry. I feel like wrestling fans are giving him a pass so much because if you look at it, for years we've shitted on Vince for making stale booking of the main roster. But guess what? NXT is fucking stale as well. So what the hell is Triple H doing?
Triple H and Shawn Michaels is whoever the hell is back there with him is all of them that's back there. All of them. Every single last one is all his fault. Yes, absolutely.
When you asked that question, it was literally with who was to blame, whether it's Raw or NXT. I was gonna blame Vince McMahon and Triple H because it's literally Vince McMahon. He's already set in his mind of who his big dog is for the ladies. Like he has his John Cena for the ladies, so he's already got that. He got that in his 75-year-old brain. That shit ain't changing. The only person that could have swayed him to be like, here is your next mega star. Here is your next big time player. It is Rhea Ripley. She is 23 years old. She is phenomenal. She's a great look. She's a great wrestler. She looks like a champion.
Yes.
This is the one person that the world could believe in that can beat Charlotte Flair in a one-on-one match, and we as wrestling fans would have no problem with it. And he couldn't get it through. He couldn't get it through.
Yep.
He couldn't get it through, and he failed at that moment at WrestleMania and had Rhea lose on the biggest stage during a global pandemic. So not only you lost your title, you got all this pandemic shit you got to deal with, and now somehow you're out of the title picture altogether, and now you got to find your character back because the woman that you lost to was fucking gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, that's Triple H's fault. That is Triple H's fault, and I'm hoping that he's eating crow for this because now you got to help restore the best athlete you have in that company other than Io Shirai because Rhea Ripley's special. You can't lose her.
So I think we can all agree we sympathize with Rhea for losing her confidence, and it's no wonder with how they booked her and her being so young why that happened. So final question for both of you guys. Do you think it was a good idea to book Rhea versus Charlotte in the first place? Do you think that there was a way to kind of get out of it and get something out of it for Rhea Ripley? And do you have faith in the WWE to go back to this match to redeem the booking? Because I've heard people fantasy book and say Rhea's going to get called up, she's going to win the Raw Rumble, Charlotte's going to win the Raw Women's title, and Rhea's going to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania this year. And I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, I don't. Matter of fact, I don't even want it to happen, to be honest. I don't want her to go. I don't want to get her called up. I'm sorry. No. No. She needs a proper run of being the champion. The whole point of her beating Shayna, which was this big old thing, everyone came into the ring. It was a big production. So she needs that run over. So I don't even want Charlotte nowhere near NXT, to be honest.
No, I'm talking about Rhea on the main roster against Charlotte.
No. Trust and faith is a strong word.
Yeah.
And putting that together with WWE, that's a lot. That's a lot to fit in, because like I literally just said, it's like that Charlotte is literally the female John Cena. So it's like, if she's gonna come back as Super Flair, she's not losing to anybody. She's not gonna have this comeback to lose. Whenever she comes back, she's not losing. She's going straight to the title picture. Whenever she comes back, she's going straight for 13. So it's literally, there's not going to even be any segue to this shit. She's going straight for 13. And the only thing that I would like to see for Rhea and Charlotte going forward in the future would be next year's Survivor Series. And it could be Rhea as the NXT champion battling in the same match with Charlotte, and somehow Rhea pulls off a victory in Charlotte in a Survivor Series match. Other than that, no booking for them. No, because it's going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
I totally understand where both of y'all are coming from. We gotta move on, but great points all around. All I will really say is that this whole booking, and the simple fact, we're just going to look at facts and look at numbers here. Rhea Ripley was a part of one of the biggest episodes of NXT, like Krssi Luv said, when she beat Shayna, and that was a key victory in 2019 for NXT over AEW in the Wednesday night ratings war. And then Rhea versus Io Shirai, one of the best matches of the year on TV, on any wrestling show this year, did one of the lowest rated segments of 2020 for NXT. So that is an indictment of NXT's booking.
You just drank away all of Rhea's hopes in booking.
But that segues us to week 57 of the Wednesday Night Wars. We did it different last week. Top Guy JJ, we started off things with the Wednesday Night Wars due to the big stuff that happened. Yes, the big stuff that happened on AEW. But we gotta go back to what we know and how we do it. So Miss Krssi Luv, hit the drums. So yes, this is where we give you the ratings, we tell you what happened, and we decide what was the better show for the week. And the ratings are in this week. We didn't have to get the caption from Baby Seth this week. WWE NXT with 659,000 viewers, up 1K from last week when they did 658,000. To AEW Dynamite with 995,000 viewers.
Come on, let's.
Yes.
Millie. Damn you NXT fans watching that crap ass shit. All needed 5,000 more of you motherfuckers to click over, and we would have hit a cool Millie.
Yes, and I think they did the official rating that we put up last week was 913K. That was the original rating, and then after the overnight ratings came in, it sometimes adjusts the number. Last week's AEW Winter is Coming did 1.1 million viewers. So AEW is really pushing for that milli right now. AEW Dynamite this week had Young Bucks defeating TH2 in an awesome sprint of an opener to kick off the show. MJF defeated Orange Cassidy to regain the Dynamite Diamond Ring thanks to interference from Miro, who was looking very drippy with his Versace sweater and destroying security.
He's looking like Rey Mysterio on these name brands that he keep coming out in. Like, come on now.
Looking drippy. Inner Circle decides to stick together when Ortiz was the voice of reason, but Sammy says one more thing and he will quit the team. Sting interrupts Cody Rhodes and teases an alliance with Darby Allin after he hugged it out with Tony Schiavone. Darby Allin challenges Brian Cage for a TNT championship match. Kenny Omega and Don Callis show up in a freaking helicopter and talk about fooling Moxley and everyone last week. And like I said, kind of a retread from what they said on Impact, but still a good promo. Kingston, Butcher, and Blade beat Archer, and Phoenix after they take out Penta. And Brandy Rhodes throws water at Shaquille O'Neal and calls him an asshole after he tells her to learn something from Jade Cargill. We had WWE NXT with Karrion Kross and Scarlett return, with Kross attacking Damian Priest. Raquel Gonzalez defeated Ember Moon in the main event.
Scarlett was serving body.
Scarlett
was serving body.
Scarlett never disappoints. I'm just saying.
Finn Balor returns and says that he will defend the NXT Championship at New Year's Evil on January 6th, with Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and Priest showing their intent to get a shot, as well as Scarlett confronting the champ. We also saw more training/torturing for Xia Li and Boa, and Ciampa defeated Cameron Grimes in a competitive matchup. We also had Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and Austin Theory are officially known as The Way, with Johnny Gargano doing a little dance to his theme music. I like his little dance doing the theme music. So I'm gonna ask you guys the always the popular question here. We'll start with you, Top Guy JJ. What was the better show for the week?
I mean, no doubt it was AEW. I mean, it's easy. I mean, this to me, the thing with NXT is that the level of inconsistency in their shows week by week is something that's really damning, because they be having some bright spots and then they just have a regular week of wrestling. This was a regular week of wrestling. This was just it was a good week of wrestling, but it was very regular outside this 37-minute promo that had the all eyes on the Prince, and then the Prince fucking leaves. It's so backwards. Like you promoted, he had a promo, Love, on the pay-per-view about all eyes being on the Prince, and then he fucking leaves 3 minutes into the promo. So you didn't even deliver on the shit you promised on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So that just lost mad points to me right there. Cameron Grimes and Tommaso Ciampa made no sense whatsoever in a match, even though the match was decent. And to me, just NXT and they Karrion Kross, right? So Karrion Kross is the biggest thing in their program. So he comes back after everyone cuts their promos. And has the most meaningless attack on the loser of the pay-per-view. Like how, Sway? How did y'all fuck this up so badly?
It's true. It's true.
He should have literally came out seconds after Scarlett came out to confront the champion, the guy that is holding his belt that he never lost.
Yeah, there we go.
So he is going to now attack Damian Priest that lost in a match that involved Leon motherfucking Ruff in it.
Yep.
Good going. Yeah. So I'm not even going to go into all of the things for AEW because I need to hand off the floor. But I just needed to point out all the inconsistencies of NXT and explain why they lost instead of explaining how AEW won. Because I'll let y'all handle how AEW won.
Krssi Luv?
AEW simply won due to Sting being there, due to the Young Bucks having a great match with, I forget their name, I'm sorry.
TH2.
They also won due to Sting.
You said Sting twice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sting. That's all right. Sting.
The Inner Circle was great as well.
The Inner Circle was wonderful, and then we had to see our champion from the night before do the same thing that he did on the same night again.
But he came in a helicopter this time.
Before was a nice, beautiful bus that was amazing, and he left the bus, and then he went to the helicopter like a champion that he is. That's why they won. They're consistent with. The only thing I didn't understand was the whole Shaq thing. That was it. Everything else on the whole show was good. Yeah. Shaq and then Brandy, that was dumb. Yeah. Then the whole backstage thing with the girl, that was dumb as well. I'm sorry. And I don't know where they're dropping the ball at with those females, but then What's the girl with the scary makeup on?
Abaddon.
Abaddon. Wow. First of all, once
Bruh,
what? I don't even have to
about it. Talk about it.
Wow. That lead up for that matchup between her and
Sheeta.
Thank you. Her and Sheeta.
Yo, did you see that? Did you see that sit up?
Yeah,
That
bitch
like a zombie.
Scary.
It's
that bitch is scary.
She's scary, but like, no matter what she does, but from her character, whatever she looks like beyond the makeup, I mean, whoa! Like she is like unbelievably scary.
Yo, the only thing I would add to even just you saying that in the report, don't give her social media.
No,
she does. She does have
anything.
One.
Only needs to they need they need to just take it down. Like she literally just needs to be a TV character only. Like kayfabe the fuck out of her because she is that strong of a character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind her having a social media. I just think that it's very. This is like one of the rare horror or creepy characters that is just 100% creepy. It's not about looking cool. No, yeah. Like the theme looks cool. Abaddon looks scary as fuck. Like I like that.
The original Undertaker when he first came out, everyone was scared of him.
Yeah. So I'm gonna agree with you guys. I don't say this is a 10-8. Like last week was a 10-8 round. It was Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson last week. This one was more of a 10-9. This was pretty much even, but like JJ said, there was just too many inconsistencies with NXT and a lot of stuff that feel like it didn't really matter. It didn't matter at all. Jake Atlas versus Swerve Scott. I expect when I see those two guys in the ring that they're gonna give me at least a very great matchup. It was there. Cameron Grimes versus Tommaso Ciampa. I expect a great matchup. It was there.
So, coming and sit at the ring.
That was the only good part. I like the whole chemistry between Ciampa and Thatcher. It seems like they're leading to maybe a makeshift tag team. That's good, but there was just stuff that just didn't matter. And the lack of Pat McAfee, I'm sorry, it already goes down. No Pat McAfee, you're already gonna go down for me. But
it's like WarGames never existed. They had like a little package, and that was it. That was it.
Raquel Gonzalez looked good, so I will give them that. The
main event was great. That was it.
The main event was good, but that opening segment, I agree with JJ. It was like I was watching Monday Night Raw. It was a revolving door promo where everybody just comes out, says their piece, and then they get interrupted. It was just annoying, and I was just over it. And the Karrion Kross, I love seeing him back. I love seeing anyone come back from injury, but it was rushed. Like, you already had Scarlett come out to tease it. Save that shit for next week. Why is he coming out and randomly attacking Damian Priest? Or why didn't he come out and attack Damian Priest right after Damian Priest said some shit to Scarlett? Like, if you didn't him to attack Finn Balor, which I get, because Balor's probably not 100%, you should have just had him attack Priest off jump, not after the fact. Like, there was some good feuds that were set up, but there was just a lot of too much inconsistency. AEW Dynamite, the only con that I had on the show is that way too much shit happened. There was just way too much going on the show. That was my only fault, but it's also a good thing because everybody has something going on. One of the highlights of the show, which wasn't getting really spoke on a lot, was Evil Uno asking Dustin Rhodes to be seven.
To be seven! Yo, I don't know how nobody got that jab. No one got that jab. I fucking loved it. I was like, yo, the worst character in wrestling history. He offered him that exact number.
And definitely the worst character of Dustin's career. If you're a new wrestling fan, we'll get to it on True Rewind, so subscribe and get used to it.
That was great. That was great.
Dustin left WWE as Goldust, and he had a run as Dustin Runnels, and then he came to WCW, and Vince Russo gave him the character of Seven, which he was only that character for like that one night that he debuted as it, and then he was just over the shits. So the fact that Evil Uno asked him to be that number was just hilarious. Like, it was like they set it up because we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3, we have a 4, we have a 5, we have an 8, and we have a 10 and a 9 of Dark Order. It was like they were saving that spot for that moment.
They're saving 6 for Sean Waltman.
I
Yo,
just love it.
It is so beautiful.
Speaking of the Dark Order, I love the Hangman Page Dark Order stuff. I love those guys being behind the bar waiting for him. Just the little stuff that they got going on is just great, and it just adds to a lot. Kenny Omega, it was retread. That was a kind of a fault against it, but I did like Omega kind of taking more of the promo time on this one, explaining that no one kicks out of the One Wing Angel. It had nothing to do with the microphone. Yes, I made a gentleman's agreement, but hey, you touch my family. You hit my family, so I had to hit you with that. But no one kicks out of the One Wing Angel. Just great little subtle stuff. Archer, and I like Archer as a babyface as well. Kingston, Butcher, and Blade getting a big victory, and I will agree. Young Bucks versus TH2 was the highlight of the in-ring, and Sting was the highlight of the promo. Him keeping the cards close to his chest and not giving too much away. Just great stuff. So yes, AEW gets the win because they followed up a fantastic and one of the best shows of the year with a very solid top to bottom show.
And you know what's so great about the Sting promo is that this is the first time in AEW Dynamite's airing, and to my knowledge, this is the first time that Cody felt completely irrelevant in the promo. Sting did that purposefully. He did that to make Cody feel so non-important. Like, it was so well done. Like, Sting came out and the promo wasn't even for Cody Rhodes. It wasn't even towards Cody Rhodes. It was all about what Sting's intentions were and his appreciation for seeing what he saw in the stands, and didn't even acknowledge Cody's wanting to share the ring with Sting. Sting didn't even fucking answer it.
Yes, he's like, good job, kid. Just his kid.
Yeah, I loved it. They just know how to do it, man.
Yeah,
they just know how to do it.
That promo and the Inner Circle promo were the highlights of the show for me, for sure. So that was all. Yes, AEW wins another week. Watch the Wednesday Night Warriors and find out how Romeo tries to tell you that NXT was the better show.
I'm not even gonna watch. I'm gonna watch because they're my brothers. But I'm watching
really
like
about them being the better show. No way. He's lying to himself.
He's gonna try to take the Brandy 3 minutes of Brandy and take that entire other hour and 57 minutes away from Dynamite.
Yes, I will say Brandy confused the hell out of me because she was supposed to be a babyface, and she did not come off at it from start to beginning of that segment.
Dude, I've been saying for months, Brandy just needs to be off TV.
Like, I wouldn't go that far, but she just needs to be a heel.
Inconsistent. She's too inconsistent. Like, she had great week again with I forgot her name already.
Jade.
With Jade. She had a great week with her, but every other, it's so off. Like, her promos are so off. Her in-ring is off. Like, be one person and stay that way if you're going to be on TV. Don't flip-flop every week.
It's annoying.
It's not a wrestling character. It's not a wrestling character. It's a bipolar disorder that we all are, that we don't need to see on TV because that's what we are anyway.
Yeah. What was the point of Shaq now? Did I miss something?
Celebrity.
This was kind of added in because Shaq was available, so they had to do the segment here. But it just felt off.
Shaq is connected to TNT. He does Inside the NBA. So
but he wants to do something with the Rhodes family, so we'll see where it goes there. But we got to move on, guys, to the news. We got to run down everything going on. WWE news: Goldberg appears on WWE The Bump to basically challenge Roman Reigns, saying that he backed out of. Yes, he said he backed out of WrestleMania 36. He stole his move, and the unmitigated gall. He said that Roman Reigns is performing at a subpar level. Yes, my sentiments exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Speaking of that, this comes
I don't even want to see this Goldberg feud off of that disrespect.
Well, this comes off the heels of our good friend Louis Dangor of Wrestle Talk revealing that Goldberg has been in discussion for the WrestleMania opponent of Roman Reigns, along with The Rock, Big E, Drew McIntyre, and Daniel Bryan. And speaking of Charlotte Flair, like we spoke about earlier, WrestleVotes reports that an idea that's been discussed, however not determined at this point, is an on-screen pairing of Charlotte and Andrade when they return to TV. The idea is to have Charlotte star power to elevate Andrade to the main event scene. Wrestling Observer newsletter.
That's what I'm talking about, yo.
Seriously?
Fucking cancer, bro. Like nobody's people dislike Andrade for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, at least he'll be a heel. Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Always been a heel.
Right.
He'd be more over as a heel with Charlotte. Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Trey Miguel has not been signed with WWE along with the other Rascals, like we talked about last week, because he is considering both WWE and AEW. Speaking of somebody considering both promotions, Tessa Blanchard is also being considered to be signed by both WWE and AEW as well. Cultaholic reported about a month ago that Eva Torres had re-signed Eva Marie had re-signed with WWE, and PW Insider reported this week that Eva is still listed on the company's internal roster and has yet to be assigned a brand. She has been spotted in Orlando at the Performance Center several times since September. After reports that he was going to be released, as Top Guy JJ alluded to earlier, Jackson Riker returned to WWE by the side of Elias on Main Event this week. This is a few months since his controversial comments supporting Donald Trump and demeaning the Black Lives Matter movement.
He can say where the fuck he's at.
Well, he's
back. I feel like I'm a little on fire today, man. I got something to say about this gold. Like, yo, have you ever been to a restaurant where you see something on the picture and you see a picture of the food that you want, and then you actually get it in your bag or you get it wrapped up and you open up the fucking wrapper as to what the shit that you don't expect to see when you order the shit? This is the shit that I would get if I wanted The Rock at WrestleMania and then I got Goldberg.
Yeah.
You get the picture of the shit that you know you want, and then you get the shit in the bag. Goldberg is that shit in the bag. Yo, who the fuck wants it?
It's like the memes, how it looks online, how it looks when it gets to your door, basically.
Yeah, like the outfits. What I asked for, and this is what I got. Yep.
And then the final WWE note, WWE Raw drew 1.736 million viewers, which was slightly down from last week, and WWE SmackDown drew 2.130 million viewers, which is up from last week. AEW news, Louis Dangor again, he's been hitting us with exclusive all week of Wrestle Talk. He reports that Sting was unhappy with how he was treated in WWE, which played a part in him signing with AEW. He wanted a cinematic match with The Undertaker, which Vince McMahon was not interested in.
Whatever.
I would have rather seen him instead of Goldberg, and Goldberg almost killed him.
Krssi Luv, this was the most popular thing on the internet for like 4 years in a row, and how the fuck the company didn't see that is beyond me.
They never even thought about it. According to Justin Barbasaro of Sports Illustrated, there are plans in place for Sting to eventually enter the ring in AEW, with cinematic matches, tag team matches, and carefully designed spots being the focus for Sting to build up younger stars, with AEW trying to leverage Sting's star power while he's under contract. The report also notes that Tony Khan made the deal with Sting in a private setting, and that no one in the company knew anything about the signing until it was finalized on both sides, with Sting being very impressed with how AEW handled everything. AEW announced their lineup for the holiday season. December 23rd, Aew Holiday Bash will air at 10 p.m. Eastern Time after the NBA game on NBA on TNT. So that's a rare night you can watch WWE, NXT, and AEW back to back. very nice for us wrestling fans, I guess, if you're willing to stay up to midnight. December 30th, AEW Dynamite presents New Year's Smash Night 1 with Chris Jericho on commentary, and January 6th, AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash Night 2 will have Snoop Dogg appearing. Apparently, WWE is upset with Snoop Dogg for his appearance scheduled for AEW Dynamite on this night.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait. So, like, yo, WWE, your dick ain't that big, yo.
Hey,
Like, what
they
the
swing
fuck? Like,
And also, he's also on the show with Cody. Didn't forget that as well.
They swing it.
Upset with what Snoop Dogg does?
Yep. I don't think Snoop
Because
cares.
he's in there. Why? Because he's in their bullshit Hall of Fame, the celebrity wing of their Hall of Fame.
And they did like a special with Snoop Dogg interviewing The Undertaker during The Undertaker farewell weekend, and they did like T-shirts with Snoop Dogg and The Undertaker.
On Snoop Dogg's Instagram.
It was also on WWE's Instagram.
Of course, they was on AW because they own The Undertaker. What the fuck?
According to Bodyslam.net, the angle on Dynamite involving Penta going through the table and being out of the match was to write out Penta because he is suffering from an injury to his leg a few weeks ago while training. So shouts out to Penta. Hope he gets better very soon. According to Wrestling Observer Radio, the plan for Don Callis interfering on Omega's behalf has been in the works for a while, and it is likely Callis who pitched Omega the Impact AEW alliance, and they said that was also Callis's idea. Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that AEW has an attitude of wanting to work with everyone, including Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA, or NWA. It was noted that Tony Khan has been talking to Rocky Romero of New Japan Pro Wrestling lately in order to try and start a relationship with New Japan. The feeling is that this will be easier to accomplish now that Harold Mage is gone from the company. And speaking of New Japan announced the Wrestling Donku will be a 2-day event on May 3rd and 4th of 2021. ROH News, Fightful Select reports that the talent is being brought in this week to film Final Battle and the subsequent post shows after that, with the pay-per-view set to be taped this Thursday as we're actually filming this episode, and we will be doing a preview of the card next week. Impact Wrestling, according to Fightful Select, some backstage sources within Impact Wrestling had heard about the AEW Impact crossover idea, but they were told by management that there wasn't much to it at the latest Impact TV taping. According to those several people within AEW reportedly heard that Callis would be working an angle with the promotion, but they did not know to what extent. There has been conflicting reports with Wrestling Inc. saying that Omega on Impact was a one-off, and they also reported that the Good Brothers will likely be going to AEW for a match with the Young Bucks. They also noted that Callis' Impact contract expires next month, and he will likely be going to AEW as Omega's manager. But the Young Bucks, on our good friend John Alba's Living the Gimmick podcast, confirmed that there will be more to this crossover between the two companies, and apparently Impact got into a little bit of heat with this roster due to how they've been handling the COVID-19 awareness. They were not apparently doing testing for a couple of their tapings a couple of months ago, and have only just further done testing for their performers. So we'll keep on track with that story for sure. And then our final wrestling notes, we got Brian Pillman Jr. won the OVW championship this past week, so congratulations to him. MLW special event coming up will be on January 6th. It's a big day with New Year's Evil of NXT and New Year's Smash for AEW, but also MLW will have their Kings of Coliseum show, which will feature Leo Rush's debut as he versus Myron Reed for the MLW Middleweight Championship. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, AAA actually wanted to get more AEW talent but couldn't due to the pandemic for their Triple Mania show, and they originally wanted to get former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley as well as Impact wrestler Taya Valkyrie, and they are also interested in bringing in the Clones. However, it seems that Kenny Omega will be the only wrestler based in the US to appear on the show. The show is going to have a huge card. It's this coming weekend on the 12th. It's going to have Hair versus Hair, Pagano versus Chessman, AAA Mega Championship, Kenny Omega defending against Laredo Kid, plus more. Plenty of matches, and that's going to be a pretty big show, so check it out if you can. If you're in Mexico, if you are able to stream it, find a way. It's going to be a very good show for sure. But we got to focus on the other shows for this week with Impact Wrestling's Final Resolution. New Japan Pro Wrestling has two huge shows with the World Tag League 2020 and Best of Super Juniors 27 finals and Super J Cup 2020. We will start with the World Tag League 2020 and Best of Super Juniors 27. You're going to see Toru Yano, Sho, and Robbie Eagles versus Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and Taiji Ishimori of the Bullet Club. Okada returns to New Japan as he teams with Tanahashi and Tori Hanare to verse Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, and Great Okan of the Empire. Shingo Takagi and Sanada will verse Evil and Yujiro Takahashi of the Bullet Club. We got a preview of January 4th with Kota Ibushi teaming up with Master Wato to verse Tetsuya Naito and Bushi, but we are going to focus on the finals of the two tournaments that have been going on for over a month as this World Tag League 2020 finals. David Finlay and Juice Robinson, Finjuice, will verse our good friends Tama Tonga and they will verse Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa of the Gorillas of Destiny. Both teams come in with 12 points, 6-3 records in the World Tag League. We will start with you, Miss Krssi Luv. Who you got, God or Finjuice?
Who needs to win the most?
Hey, whoever you think should win. We're gonna start with you, God or Finjuice? God. Top Guy JJ, who you got?
Yo, man, my boy Tammy is killing me with this clean look, man. Killing me look, man. He looked like such a fucking baby face. He looked like such a good guy. But I'm gonna stick with him, man. I got faith in you, brother. Go ahead, God. Come on, God. God damn it. You need to grow your facial hair back, though.
He's a good guy now. He's not the bad boy anymore. He's the good boy, Tama Tonga. But I'm gonna go with our boys, the God, the Gorillas of Destiny, to win here and move on to Wrestle Kingdom to get a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. So we got Best of Super Juniors 27 finals. This is going to be the main event. It's going to be El Desperado of Suzuki Gun going one-on-one with Hiromu Takahashi of LIJ. This has been brewing for a while. These two have had a long rivalry since Hiromu was a young lion. El Desperado defeated Hiromu Takahashi earlier in the tournament. Hiromu Takahashi has been putting on a hell of a tournament. Great matches with Robbie Eagles, Master Wato, Taguchi, Sho. I just actually watched that one. That one was a banger for sure. And this one is sure to be great as well. Who you got, Top Guy JJ? Hiromu versus El Desperado.
I gotta go with your boy. I gotta go with your boy Takahashi on this one. I gotta go with your boy Hiromu.
I'm going to agree with you. Hiromu Takahashi is the star. I like how they've been building the storyline of Hiromu having all the main events and being the top star of the junior division, and Taiji Ishimori, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, being jealous of that, saying I'm the champion, so I should be main eventing, but Hiromu is still the top star, so I think that we're building to them having their rematch at Wrestle Kingdom. Who you got, Krssi?
I'm going to go the same with Hiromu.
I mean, shit, after that explanation, you ain't got no choice. The fuck?
We're going to see another match between them? Okay, duh.
Save that explanation for after the pick.
Hey, you know, I put Krssi on the spot with the World Tag League, and she picked correct, so I wanted to help her out for the Best of Super Juniors there. But I won't help her out here. We got the Super J Cup 2020 this weekend. That's going to be on Saturday. One night tournament, 8 superstars, and it has the best of the junior heavyweight division that weren't able to go to Japan for the tournament. You got Clark Connors, the winner of the Lions Crown break. He's going to be versing Impact Wrestling's own Chris Bay in the first round. You got ACH versus TJP in the first round, a battle of two freelancers. You got ROH's Ray Horace going one-on-one with Blake Christian, and you got El Fantasmo, who won the tournament last year, going one-on-one with the former WWE Cruiserweight champion and actually a contestant on this season of MTV's The Challenge, Leo Rush. So who you got? I'm gonna put you on the spot, Krssi Luv. You got Clark Connors, Chris Bay, ACH, TJP, Ray Horace, Blake Christian, Leo Rush, or El Phantasmo. Who you got winning the whole Super J Cup?
Oh, you put me on a spot because I guessed
Yep.
the other one correctly.
Yep.
Leo is too predictable. I'm going to go with El Phantasmo.
I like that pick for sure. Back to back for ELP. Who you got? Top Guy JJ.
Well, I'm definitely not picking 80 in the motherfucking freelancers. I'll tell you that because ain't none of them winning at all. I'm gonna go Chris Bay. He's been getting a lot of love. A lot of notoriety. I'm gonna go Chris Bay on this one.
I'm gonna be different from the both of y'all, and I am gonna go with Leo Rush. I like his little.
If he keeps that entrance that he had at that little gothic-y little dead walking shit that he had, I think it was at a CWF or some shit. That shit was amazing.
I liked it. You guys should check out the little vignette that he did. It was kind of reminiscent of Jon Moxley's vignette that he did when he left WWE, where he's breaking out of prison and then he's showing up in New Japan. And he's done a lot of interviews where he said he wants to work with New Japan in 2021. So I think this is going to be the starting point for that to happen here in the Super J Cup. So I think he's going to beat ELP in the first round and then move on to bigger and better things. The only non-tournament match on this night is going to be Hikuleo and Kenta versus Carl Fredericks and Ren Narita. So there's going to be plenty of great action on this night. And it's going to be the same night of Impact Wrestling Final Resolution. I'll go through kind of the minor stuff on the card and I'll get your prediction for the top matches. You're going to have Hernandez versus Fala Bala with Kira Hogan as special guest referee and Tasha Steelz as guest announcer. You got Eric Young versus Rhino, Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K versus Alicia and Eddie Edwards. You got
how far has Eric Young fallen? Like he went from the main event to Bound for Glory to a fucking basically a pre-show match with Rhino.
Hey, they're building up him and Joe Doring as a tag team here now. Havoc and Nevaeh will verse the Sea Stars. You're gonna have Larry D's Freedom on the line in an old school rules match against Tommy Dreamer. You got the North gets a tag team title shot if Ethan Page wins, as Ethan Page goes one-on-one with Carl Anderson. Impact X Division Championship will be on the line in the Defeat Rohit Challenge. And you got the two top matches, which I will get your predictions on. Impact Knockouts Championship is on the line. Deonna Purrazzo going one-on-one with Rosemary. Rosemary got the victory with Taya Valkyrie over Deonna and Kimberly this past week on Impact Wrestling, and now she gets a shot. Who you got, Krssi Luv?
Wow. I'm gonna go with. Can you go to JJ? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go with this one. I mean, I'm tired of pulling the plug on Rosemary, and I'm tired of failing, so I'm just gonna go Deonna Purrazzo, because every time I think we're gonna pull a plug on Rosemary, it never fucking happens. So I'm gonna go Deonna Purrazzo retaining.
Who you got, Krssi?
I'm gonna go Rosemary.
I'm going to go with Deonna Purrazzo getting the victory in this one. So in the main event, it's going to be for the Impact World Championship. I think I saw this on Reddit that this is only the second time for a major promotion, including WWE, Impact Wrestling, AEW, ROH, places like that, New Japan, that two African-American wrestlers will fight for the heavyweight championship on a pay-per-view. It's going to be Rich Swann defending the Impact World title against Chris Bay. Chris Bay has been kind of lobbying to get a shot at the Impact World title for a couple of weeks now. He's the young upstart versus Rich Swann, who's been a very good babyface champion so far. So who you got? Swann versus Bay. Start with you, top guy.
I mean, if I got Bay winning that tournament, there's no way he's winning the Impact Championship. You can't have all the cake. I'm going to go with Rich Swann retaining because I definitely smell that Swann Omega match cooking.
Krssi?
Yeah. Swann for the...
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys.
That way, logically, if we have the whole AEW champion in the the background somewhere. We can't have this going on right here. So yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with you guys. Rich Swann will get the victory in this one. So that is all for Tru Heel Heat 103, ladies and gentlemen. You can check out our lineup on the YouTube channel. NXT TakeOver WarGames pay-per-view roundtable is up.
WarGames!
WarGames!
There you go.
There you go. You gotta come from here. WarGames!
That was great.
You gotta say it like you about to get into a fight with somebody.
That was great. Our pay-per-view roundtable for that show is up on the YouTube channel right now. We have an exclusive interview with the Living the Gimmick podcast host, the Emmy Award winner, John Alba, up on the YouTube channel right now. The latest AE recap with myself as guest host, Wednesday Night Warriors with Stat King as the guest host, Richie's Raw recap, SmackDown with the Lynches, Dark Power, Review of Honor, Blunt Impact, and J News Japan are all up on the YouTube channel right now. We have an all-new Wednesday Night Warriors with Tru Heel Josh as a special guest host, AE Recap, Blunt Impact, Dark Power, Review of Honor, SmackDown with the Lynches, Richie's Raw recap, and J News Japan. That's all going to be up this weekend or next week on our YouTube channel. And also got our special World Tag League 2020 and Best of Super Juniors 27 Finals Roundtable review. We have a special J News Japan for the Super J Cup 2020 with myself as a guest host, and Dark Power special for Final Resolution, and that's going to have a special guest with the Stat King. And you can check out my latest appearance on Alex McCarthy's Wrestling Daily on Wrestle Talks Wrestle 2 YouTube channel right now, as we have our very latest great debate about this time whether the invasion angle was great or not. Check that out for sure. Krssi Luv, where can they find you online?
They can find me. I'm the sensation Miss Krssi Luv. You can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook. I am one of the hosts of Tru Heel Heat and SmackDown Live with the Lynches.
Top Guy JJ.
At Instagram, you can find me at TrueHill_Top Guy JJ. Facebook, I'm simply Justin Johnson. And nice job on that wrestling travel little group podcast that you had earlier this morning, or something like that. Whether it's Wrestle Talk, Wrestling Travel. Sorry, man, there's like too many goddamn names to keep up with. Right. I know both hosts was on that motherfucking show. I think.
I was on Wrestling Travels podcast.
Yeah, see, I got one of them.
Shouts out to them for sure.
Everywhere, man.
And you can check out Wrestling Travel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well as Tru Heel Heat on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Battle Club Pro, Warrior Wrestling, Mission Pro Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel by pressing the icon down at the bottom. Like this video, share it with all your wrestling fans and friends. Subscribe to all our other friends, Wrestling Travel, Wrestle 2, Jimmy Macaram, My Battery is Dying, and Battle Club Pro. You can listen to Tru Heel Heat on any of your favorite audio podcast platforms and on Powered 4 TV. So until Tru Heel Heat 104 next week, for the beautiful Miss Krssi Luv, for our resident Tru Heel alcoholic Top Guy JJ,
number 5 is like almost
It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 103. We are signing off until next time.